Hey, it's Bob here at Sorrento Hill. So I catch you up to speed on what's going on this week. What I'm doing right now is I bought a set of stairs. I think I told you guys about that. Bought a set of stairs from a guy, and I got them mounted yesterday. And so today I'm painting them. I just sanded them down, and now I'm got a damp rag, and I'm just wiping the sanding dust off. And then while that dries off, which it's drying up pretty quick, then I'll man, that's a lot of dust too. Then I'll stir my paint and I'll start painting. So it's kind of neat to have front stairs on the thing. Man, glad I sanded and wiped. There was a lot of sanding dust and some dirt, pretty dirty. That's amazing. Even with it's humid, we got thunderstorms coming. Um, the moisture is drying off this pretty quick. I figured I'd get the sanding dust off before I go to paint. Try to do something halfway right every once in a while. So, yeah, it's been another one of those frustrating weeks. I'm not saying that to complain. I just want you guys to realize, if you're not doing this already or you're thinking about it, or even if you're doing it already, something like this, you realize that you're not alone in having frustrations. Some days it seems like nothing goes right. Now, the paint that I bought here is supposed to match the wow, that's a pretty close match. It's supposed to match up. Of course, I used the wrong end of the paint stick. Oh well. It's supposed to match up pretty well to once it's dry to the treated wood that it's going up against. So that'll be nice. And what I'm going to do once I get the first coat on everything, get it protected from the elements, then I'll take and add some sand into what's left and stir it up. They make a special grit for it, but you look at it and basically it's sand. So I thought, instead of spending 11-12 bucks on something else, I'd just put some of my sand that I've got from my mortar in there, give it a little grip, because these aren't ribbed like the pressure treated deck stairs are. These are plain wood. That's why I'm painting them, and I'm pretty pleased with the color. I think it's going to match pretty close to the treated wood. Not perfect, but here's the thing: the treated wood, I mean, it's already changed color over time. It fades out after a while. If I want to keep it looking the exact same color it was when I bought it, I would actually end up having to repaint it. And I'm just using it straight out of the can, because basically I'm going to probably use all of this on these stairs, and I'll paint as far over as I can, and then I'll switch over to the other side. But now the frustration that I've had this week, of course, Monday was Memorial Day. That wasn't the frustrating part. That was the fun part. Debbie and I went for a ride. We did just under 200 miles. We went up to a place I'd been thinking about going, a place called Rocky Falls. It's up kind of to the southeast, I guess, of Eminence, Missouri, and or to the east, I guess east actually of Winona. Some people might know more about Eminence than they would Winona, but Winona's right there on 60 and 19, and I know you can't see me, but that's all right. So we went for a ride, and then we took a picnic lunch with us. Then when we got there, we weren't the only crazy people on bikes, which was kind of wild because the last quarter mile is dirt road or gravel road, little gravel county road, and then you got a real steep turn and a downhill to the parking lot, and the parking lot's all gravel, all that. So that made it interesting, but we got in and out with no problem. And we weren't the only ones there on bikes. There were some other couples there on bikes, so we weren't the only crazy ones. But we had a great time, great ride. And if it weren't for the fact I'd get it dirty, I'd go ahead and get up on the stairs so I could reach all the way across and just get it in one swoop. But we had a great time. And then came home and barbecued because what's Memorial Day without barbecuing? And you guys have seen my hat. You know, I'm an Army vet. I didn't just wear the hat because I like the Army. I am a 13-year Army veteran, and it always gets me. I appreciate people's remembrance, but they always thank me for my service on Memorial Day, and I'm thinking, you know, my day is coming up in November, or coming up on Armed Forces Day and Veterans Day. That's my day. This is the day for. Pardon me if I choke up, but this is the day for those guys who didn't make it back. And so I appreciate people saying thank you for your service, but I'd really rather let's keep the focus on those guys who gave all and didn't make it back, to be able to take bike rides and have barbecues. Now, in past years, we didn't do it this year because of the distance from it, but in past years, we lived not too far from a veteran cemetery, and we would start out our day by making a stop there. And I kind of regret we didn't do that this year, but we didn't. But anyways, Memorial Day, that's for those who, that's the day for those who didn't make it back. And I just kind of prefer to keep it that way. That's just my personal druthers. If you tell me thanks for service on Memorial Day, I'm not gonna get in your face and be all stupid and correct you or anything like that. I'm just gonna say you're welcome. But for me, I'd prefer to keep the focus on those guys and gals who didn't make it back and gave everything. So anyway, we had a barbecue, and then Tuesday, here I am disappearing from sight again. Tuesday we went and we I went early in the morning to go cut some trees down. I got one cut down, and the guy who owns the property says, "There you are. I didn't know where you was." So he stopped by because he had cut down a couple others that he wanted to show me where they were so I could get those. He's pretty proud of himself for helping me out by cutting down some trees, and that was cool because. And then of course he showed me where some others were. Like, take all of them you want, take everything you want. Had to show him some pictures of a house. It's kind of cool. But then after he finished showing me where this tree was, or these trees were, and we talked for a little bit. In case you can't tell, I like to talk some. I couldn't get my chainsaw to start again. I mean, I couldn't get it to start for anything. And I pulled the plug. It was wet. I thought, oh, great. I flooded it. Because me and my infinite wisdom, I thought, well, it's warm out. It's only been a little while. Normally, I don't even have to pull the choke then to start it. I can just give it about 2 pulls and she fires right off. It wouldn't start for anything. I pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled. Finally, I pulled the plug out, which that's one of the neat things. The scrunches that you get for tightening your chain also has a spark plug wrench on it. If you didn't know that, now you do. It's kind of a handy thing. So I pulled the spark plug out. Boy, it was wet. Okay, great. Flooded. So I blew in it a while, had me a drink of water, waited with the spark plug out, figured hopefully that'd dry it up. And then there's a trick you can do if you've got one that's flooded, where instead of pulling the choke out, because that chokes it from air, you can just pull the trigger. It's kind of like when if you flood your car out, and the way you start it is you just floor it. Well, that's what you do with the chainsaw. Put it down on the ground, set the brake, and leave the choke off, because you need it to get some air. Leave the choke off, and you squeeze. Put your knee down, down on the top of the case to hold it, and then squeeze the trigger so that it's full tilt, like you're running that thing, a screaming monster, and then pull on it. Well, after about 20 pulls, it still wouldn't start. I had spark. I've obviously got fuel, so I'm wondering if maybe the carb's just not getting the right. I don't know what's going on. So rather than throw it across the room, I set it down, and I guess I'll take it to the small engine guy tomorrow. I think these two-stroke engines, I think they hate me. I really do. I think they hate me. So that was frustrating. And my pressure washer's still in the shop. He hasn't gotten to it yet. So I'm basically at a point where I don't get my pressure washer back soon. By end of next week, I won't have any more peeled and dried logs. And if I do get my pressure washer back, about 3 days of steady running with the pressure washer, and I'll have the rest of my logs peeled and in the kiln. So I really need to be out there cutting trees, and I need to be pressure washing logs, and I need to be cordwooding. And instead I'm painting steps, because everything's quit on me. So it's just, there's going to be days like that. There's going to be those days when it seems like everything you touch just turns to garbage, and nothing wants to go right. And and you feel like just throwing your hands up and saying, you know what, I'm done. I just quit. But you voice your frustration, and you just keep going, right? Because the alternative isn't much fun of quitting and living in a house in the suburbs. Ugh, I just don't like that idea at all. Done that for too many years, and I like my woods. If I remember, and my rememberer is not working too well these days. I swear I can walk 10 feet and forget what I was thinking about. On my way back home yesterday, I stopped the truck in the middle of the road, just, I don't know, an eighth of a mile from our driveway, and took a picture of a wild turkey. It was a hen that was crossing the road there. She just nonchalantly crossed the road and was pecking at some grass. Even though I stopped the truck and was taking a picture of her, she was eating on something, and she just stopped there. I managed to get a picture of her through the grass. Not real great, but anyway, enough to see that it was a wild turkey. And I thought that's pretty cool. I've heard them calling, and I've seen some scratch sign that my dad told me was wild turkey, and I just thought it was cool to actually lay eyes on one of those turkeys that had been gobbling around. So that was pretty cool. So here I am painting stairs, and it's amazing how fast this latex paint dries. I'm trying to beat the rain. Now this, I've got a 4-foot overhang off the front here, so that really helps me out a lot by having such a big overhang, because it'll keep most of the rain off. These are 6 steps high, so they do stick out some past the overhang. But it's kind of nice having these stairs, because I don't have to walk all the way around, and it's like everything I do that makes a place look more like a house, a real house. Just I don't know, it feels nice. Oh, the UPS man. It's funny. We're out here in the country, but it seems like there's barely a day goes by that we don't have UPS and our FedEx running around here, and the post office with their priority mail packages. Of course, nowadays it seems like sometimes somewhat things about the only way you can get them is just order them through the mail. See me looking up at the sky. It's getting late in the day, but I just got a weather alert that there's some rain supposed to be moving in, so I may not get this all done today. There's a lot of things I'll do in the rain, but paint is not one of them. I know I'm crazy, but not that crazy. I don't think so anyway. All right, so that's what's going on. I'll finish painting this tomorrow. I got to run to which will be Thursday. I got to run to the small engine shop, check on my pressure washer, and beg him to go ahead and look at my saw while I'm there, so that I'll have it for Friday morning. Go back out there and get those trees cut up and get some more logs out here. So just keep moving along, keep making progress. And I just changed my mind on how I'm going to do my sand, because I'm realizing here I'm not going to use half of this on the stairs. So I'll go ahead and put a second coat on. Of course, second coat won't take that much. Man. Maggie's digging for something. She just upset a propane tank again. That dog is the huntingest dog. And I'm getting kind of nervous, because it won't be too long we'll have the little baby copperheads out again, and she's already gotten bit at least twice, if not 3 times, while we've been out here. I really don't want her getting bit again. I'm concerned about what repeated bites will do to her. I don't know if they have cumulative effect or what, but at any rate, I'm not so sure I'm trusting the Weather Channel. It went from rain not starting until after 8 o'clock to trees blowing around like crazy. Wow. You guys can probably see that back off in the distance. Those trees just blowing like crazy in the breeze. So nobody knows what the weather's going to do except the good Lord. And he keeps it a secret from us some days. And the way that wind's picking up, it's blowing dirt all over my stuff here. I'm not real fond of that. All right, this may be the last step that I paint, because it wasn't supposed to do this, not until after 8 o'clock. Crazy, isn't it? And I'm glad now that I didn't get a garden started this year. Well, glad in one way. because trying to have the time to take care of it. And when I put my garden up, I'm going to have to put some rabbit fence around it, because, and hope that that'll keep the little critters out. And hopefully between rabbit fence and the dogs having access to the area, I can keep the rabbits out of it, because we've got 3 big, fat, juicy rabbits running around the place. And I think they would wreak havoc on a garden if I had it planted. Now, so far they haven't messed with my hostas and my lilies and irises, but I don't know if it's that they don't like them or they just haven't found them. So keep things safe from the critters. That's the goal. If you're doing something like this, you're going to have frustrations. I guess the big thing is to not let them get you down and not let them make you just throw in the towel, and just realize that some days it's going to be that way. And just have to roll with it and keep rocking and rolling. All right. All right, so I got those steps in. I'll show them to you from this side. I'm not going to walk up them just now because they're still a little bit wet. I don't know how well it shows up in the pictures, but yeah, you can just see it. What I did was I mixed some sand in with the final coat of paint that I put on here to give some grip, because these are just flat wood. And since they're flat wood, they'd have a tendency to get slick. So I put some sand, some of my mason sand, in with a final coat of paint. Now it'll eventually wear off, and what I was thinking as I was going down the stairs outside the kitchen door, those are pressure treated wood, and they're actual stair treads for decks, and they've got little ribs milled in them, and instead of being just flat. I thought, I've got a router. I could just draw me out some lines and take a couple different router bits and cut me some grooves in these as well to help channel water off. So I may do that if this doesn't work well or if it wears off. But in the meantime, that way Deb uses these when she's got water on her boots from being out pressure washing, because it's just 20 feet away from the pressure wash station. But that way, if her boots are wet or if the stairs are wet, we got the sand there to provide some traction. It doesn't look too bad. It's not, perfectly even and uniform. I like things perfect and uniform. Very rarely get them that way, but that's why I like to do them. So yeah, got steps. Again, I painted them a paint that's supposed to color match the pressure treated wood, or at least be close. It's quite a bit darker, but again, this wood, it's been up here for over a year now, so it's faded out some. So it will do that. But at any rate, natural weathering. But now I get stairs going up to the front door, so that's kind of a nice thing. All right, well, I'm gonna wash off some mortar. I've been doing some more cordwood, and I've got to let that set up just a little bit. I'll make me another batch, and then I'll get it tuck pointed, and then go in and make some dinner. All right, thanks for stopping by. Again, this is Bob at Serenity Hill. Like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy what you're seeing. Just like I said, every little thing we do is one step closer. I'm still working on walls. Friday I'll go out and cut some more trees, and hopefully my pressure washer will get back soon, and then we can get some more logs stripped. So that's it for today. Hope things are going well for you.
We'll give you another tour next week and update on what's going on and show you some of the wildflowers. I just noticed that looks like the black-eyed Susans are starting to come out again this year. So that's the goings on. Nothing really big and exciting. Just putting in steps, watching paint dry, watching mortar dry, and every day is just a little bit closer to getting moved in. All right, have a good one. That's it for now. Like and subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors, and don't be afraid to try something that you've never ever tried before. You might just learn something. Bye now.